All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, which come out of the 12 tribes of Israel, which consisted of so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those are the true people who the world calls Jesus Christ. Whether or not you choose to believe that, the truth is the truth, man. Um, I got a video today, man. It's on this motherfucker, man. Dr. Gene Kim. This motherfucker right here, man, trying to say that the true people of the Lord aren't the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And he goes as far to say that there's no way in hell that who the world calls Jesus Christ can be a black man. This heathen. Like the scriptures say, and the heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to rule over us, man. Said the other nations are as small dust on the balance, man, and are counted as nothing, less than nothing. This heathen trying to come against the truth, man. But you know what? Through the Spirit, which is the scriptures, we can point out who this motherfucker is, man. Who he is in the spirit he's coming in, man. So let's get to these precepts, man. Chop this down, Lord rolling. This is edifying. Let you know what time we in, man. Because this is going into us building, man. They're trying to really hinder the building of the temple, man. This is, I'll start off with Ecclesiastes, because this is no new thing, man. This is no new thing, man. Let's get Ecclesiastes. There it is. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, man. It says, the thing that had been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. There's no new thing under the sun, man. There's no new thing under the sun. So, and what's crazy about it, which it was crazy, man, is that now you got a gook, a so-called Asian, Chinese, whatever, part of the Orient, in quotes, this dude claims to be part of, coming against the truth, coming against the building of the temple right now, man. Which it used to be a physical building, but now we're building on a spiritual level. Coming against the building of the temple of the Most High, man. So you know what? Let's break into this, man. It's Nehemiah. Where there it is. Nehemiah. I'm gonna go to chapter 2. Now Nehemiah, man, he prayed to the Lord because he saw the condition of his people and the condition of the temple, and he prayed to the Lord, man. He felt grieved for this. You can read the first chapter and get some of this. You can read this. This is a good story in general, man. But he went to Artaxerxes, the king at the time, and tried to persuade him to let him go build the temple and give him those things that he needed to build the temple. Now, when he did this, he asked the king for letters so that he could show them to all those people across Jordan, across the river Jordan, that he has permission to do these things. Now, I'm going to start at verse Nehemiah 2. I'll start at verse 9. It says, then I came to the governors beyond the river and gave them the king's letters. See, he had those letters and he gave them to the governors behind the king's river, those other nations. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. So they can attest to it too. They can tell them, yeah, man, this is really what's happening, man. To these other heathen nations. Now, verse 10, it says, when Sambalot the Horonite And Tobiah, the servant, the Ammonite, heard of it. It grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man seeking the welfare of the children of Israel. And that's really what's going on in the spirit right now, man. These Moabites, this Moabite is grieved in the spirit that there's somebody seeking the welfare of Israel, man, the children of Israel right now. And he's hating that we're building. Now let's get into what nation Sanballat was part of, man. Sanballat means strength, a Moabite of Horonaim, and the opponent of Nehemiah in the returned exiles in their goal of rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. Is that not what's happening now, man? It says in scriptures, it says, know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High? We're the temple of the Most High, building up each other through these scriptures. And you got this heathen, Sanballat, or Dr. Gene Kim coming against the build, man. Now, let's look into Horonite. Who are the Horonites? Horonite, native of Horonaim, an inhabitant of Horonaim and Moab. A Moabite, a Gook. Which the so-called Asians, the so-called Asian nations, those are the Moabites, man. Now you got this Gook trying to come against the build, and it's scripture is evidently that this is spiritual, man. Trying to come against the build. Now I'm gonna go to verse 17. It says, you know what? I'm gonna get this precept real quick. This is Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. Now, chapter 5, verse 20, it says, Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error, and this is what was going on in the book of Judith, when who was it? This was Salakia. This was going on in the book of Judith when the Chaldeans, I believe it was under Nebuchadnezzar, were coming to scout out the land of Israel, and they were about to go against it. And you had one of these other heathen give them the lowdown on what it was, man. How we were a great nation, how we went against many nations, how we fought against many kingdoms. And this was the sum of what he was saying right here in verse 20. It says, Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. See, these nations, especially these Moabites, these other, these Eastern nations, you got China, Ishmaelites over there in the Arab nations and all that stuff. These nations know what's up. These nations know our history, and they know where our power comes from. And the elite of Esau, the so-called white man, he knows where our power comes from. This is why they said this in this verse, man, verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, at least their Lord, Yahweh, defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. See, he told them straight up. And look at this, verse 22. And when Achior had finished these sayings, all the people standing around about the tent murmured, and the chief of the Holofernes, I can't say it, man, and all that dwelt by the seaside and in Moab spake that he should kill him, man, because these Moabites are strictly against Israel, man, just like the so-called white man, man. These Gooks, these so-called Chinese, man, these Moabite nations, man, they're just as bad as Esau, man. They're just as bad as Esau, man. Now, Nehemiah 2:17, man, it says, Then said I unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are burnt with fire. Come and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. And he was saying this to the elders of Israel, man. Verse 18. Then I told them of the hand of my power, which was good upon me, also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work. And that's what we're doing now, man. We're strengthening our hands for this good work. We're ready to build, man. Brothers out here doing these videos week in and week out, going to camps week in and week out, you know, preaching this word, learning this word as much as we can to edify. And that word edify goes to build, man. We're doing this all for the build right now. Verse 19. And Sanballat, the Horite, a Moabite goop, just like Dr. Gene Kim, and Tobiah, the servant the Ammonite, and Geshem, the Arabian, heard it. They laughed us to scorn, and despised us, and said, what is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king? And this is what Moab's doing right now. And best believe, man, there's going to be other nations that so-called call themselves Christians that are going to come against this truth and try to hinder the build, man. Verse 20, then answered I them and said unto them, the power of heaven, he will prosper us. And that's what we're saying, man. Fuck what you say, man. The Lord's dealing with us. Therefore, we, his saints, will arise and build. He sent his saints, man. And who are the saints? The Israelites, man. Those that made us a covenant with him by sacrifice, as the scriptures say. It says, therefore we, his saints, will arise and build. But ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem, man. He told him, man, but you got no portion, no right, no memorial, no remembrance. You got nothing to do with us. You have no right to speak our words in these scriptures. You have no right to touch this Bible. And you will never be remembered in it as part of Israel, man. Jerusalem, the holy city. And that's what we're telling them, man. And that's why they hate us so much, man. I'm going to go to this Nehemiah chapter 4. Get verse 1. It says, but it came to pass when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, a Moabite heard that we built the wall, he was wroth, he was angry, and he took great indignation and mocked the Jews. Now in this video that this gook right here, Gene Kim, put up, he was mocking the fact that the Lord can know how be Israel. The Lord can know, Salaki, the Lord can know how, could never be a so-called black man. He said, there's no way, without a doubt, there's no way. He's so sure the Lord cannot be an Israelite. Could not be a so-called Negro, what the world calls are Negroes today. He said there's no way he can be a Negro. He mocked us. He mocked us, man. He said there's no way that the children of Israel are the so-called Negroes today. He said there was no way, mocking us, man. And mocked the Jews. Verse 2, it says, and he spake before his brethren in the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Jews? Will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burnt? These lost niggas, these lost souls, the despised of all the world, these low life niggas, don't do shit niggas, are they gonna be the children of Israel? That's what they're saying, man. But I'm gonna jump to let me get this precept. This is Acts 5. And I'm Salat. The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 35. Now he should have understood this, man, but understanding wasn't given to these other nations, man, because the Lord deals with Israel. It's Acts 5 and 35. And and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves that ye indeed do as that ye indeed to do as touching these men, because they wanted to go at I believe it was Paul or what is it, Peter? Yeah, they wanted to go at Peter in this verse, man, because they were trying to condemn Peter for preaching the word of the Most High, man. I'll start at verse 34. Acts 5:34. It says, then stood up there one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. For before these days there arose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. After this man rose Judas of Galilee in the days of taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it. Least happily ye be found to even fight against the Most High. See, this work is of the Most High. This building is of the Most High. Just like in Nehemiah, this building is of the Most High. And see, this gook should have understood that. But you know what? You put yourself in harm's way, man. You put yourself in the lion's den. And now the Lord's going to have it where he's going to call you out. The Lord's going to have it where he's going to call you out, man. It's Nehemiah 4:6. It says, So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto their half other. For the people had a mind to work. And just like now, we got a mind to do this work, man. We got a mind to do this work, a mind to do the work of the Lord. We're fully persuaded in our minds to do this thing. Verse 7, But it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard the walls of Jerusalem were made up, and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth, and conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it. See, this is what's happening now. And you know what? This isn't the only time, man. Because you know what? In Psalms 83, Psalms the 83rd chapter tells you what's up. It says, Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They said, Come, let us cut off them from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are all confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, so on and so forth, man. All these nations are confederate against us, just like in the book of Nehemiah, the 4th chapter, man. I'm going to keep going on verse, we're on verse 9 now, and it says, Nevertheless, Nehemiah 4:9, it says, Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto Yahweh, and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And what's the watch now, man? I will set me upon my watch and see what the Most High will say when he reproved me. And that's what we're doing right now, man. We're upon our watch, man. We peeped this shit, and everybody got on this fool, man. We're to watch right now, man. It says, verse 10, And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. And our adversary said, They shall not they shall not know neither see till we come in the midst among them and slay them, and cause the work to cease. See, and this is their plans. This is really what they want to do, man. They want to kill us, man, because we're coming against their status quo, telling the truth, man. It says they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. See, we're set up as a defense to the gospel, and we're set up to bring down the strongholds of this society, man. All the beliefs, all these lies that's been perpetuated, man. We're set up as the defense of the gospel. We're gonna break this shit down, man. And it came to pass that when the Jews which dwelt by them came, Jews that dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, for all the places whence ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you. Therefore set I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places I even set the people after their families with their swords, their spears, and their bows, man. And we got our swords, our spears, and our bows, man, right here. These scriptures, man. These are our weapons, man, because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the bringing down the strongholds, man. These scriptures, man. It says, verse 14. It says, and I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember Yahweh, which is great and terrible, and fight for you, brethren, man. And that's what all brothers are being reminded all the time, man. That the Lord is strong, man. He fights for us, man. It says, and we're supposed to fight for him. It says, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters and your wives and your houses, man. That's what we're doing right now, man. We're fighting for each other. And it came to pass, when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, the Most High had brought their counsel to naught, man. And that's what we brought out in the book of Acts, man. If this counsel be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, refrain from these men, at least you be found to fight against the Most High. And it came to pass, verse 15, it says, and it came to pass, when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and the Most High had brought their counsels to naught, that we returned all of us to the wall, everyone unto his work, man. And that's what we're going to keep doing, man. We're going to keep doing this work till this society is brought down. The Lord causes this whole place to crumble, man. Wicked Babylon the Great, which is America in the scriptures, man, is going to be brought down, man. It's going to be brought down. It's going to be through the work we do and through the Spirit of the Lord and through us, playing this out, preaching these words spiritually, and it's going to manifest itself on a physical level. And we're not going to have to do anything, man, because this is going to be the work of the Lord, man. But with that being said, I want to say, keep building, brothers, man. Keep building. Keep building, man. Keep your swords in your hand. These scriptures are your swords, man. And be ready for this battle, man. Barak the Yahweh Shai for this treat. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect out there, man. Shalom.